G'day guys, it's Mark here from North Oz, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 more reasons why I sold my 2008 Nissan Navara Ute and I ended up purchasing a 2021 Prado. So again, continuing this discussion of the Ute versus the wagon and which one is better and my opinions on it and the reason why, or 5 reasons why I ended up purchasing this wagon. So let's get stuck into it. Before we start guys, I just want to say that I did open up an online store where I've got some stickers to start off with, and I'm thinking about doing some shirts as well. So if it's something that you think that you would like, a Sandy Taupe with a black North Oz logo on it, if you think that's something that you would like and you would like to purchase, let me know in the comment section. If I get enough people asking for it, I'll put it on the shop. But for now, I've just got the North Oz stickers. So if you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and do that. My content will always be free, but if you guys would like to support the channel, then there's a little shop icon underneath this video and you can just click on that and purchase a sticker. So we'll get straight into today's video. Let's do it. Now I recommend you guys go back and watch the first video about the 5 reasons why I switched from a Ute to a wagon, because I'm just continuing on from that list. So the very first reason, let's have a look. I've written all these down so that we make sure. I've had a really good think about this guys over the last 13 to 14 months. So I wanted to make sure that I was, I guess getting through everything that I wanted to say. So the very first thing is storage. One thing that I found about having a Ute is that there's very limited storage, both in the cabin, and the storage isn't limited in the tray, it's just different. So for me, having the tray, and I did have a fiberglass canopy on it, I found that storage and safe storage was a problem for me. If you had a custom canopy, which we're talking about a lot more money than just purchasing just a Prado compared to an SR5 Hilux and then putting a custom canopy on that. But if we're talking like apples to apples in terms of lockable storage and keeping stuff dry and safe and out of dust, the wagon is the obvious choice. I'm carrying camera equipment, I'm carrying fridges, batteries, food, water. I don't want that stuff to either get wet from a torrential rain, which we get here all the time in Cairns, especially during the wet season, but also I don't want my camera gear to get damaged. And that was just something that in my old Ute, I just didn't have a spot that I knew was safe from the camera gear being damaged and being safe from dirt and dust, which was a big thing when we're going down a lot of the really dusty roads that we have here to get to a lot of the campsites that we want to get to. If I had anything in the back of that Navara, anything in the back of the Ute, it would be covered in dust by the time I get to wherever I wanted to go. So I ended up just stacking the interior filled with all of the stuff that I had, and it just ended up creating problems when I got to camp because I wouldn't know where things are. Everything's all crammed in there. So for me, if we're talking about storage, keeping it dry, keeping it safe, I find that the wagons do a much better job of that compared to the Utes. The second thing is flexibility in the storage. So still continuing on with this storage as well, if I wanted to, I could sleep in the back of this. Not how it is right now, obviously, because that would be very uncomfortable. But if I wanted to, I could quite easily remake these drawers, made them in an afternoon anyway. I could quite comfortably remake these drawers, push everything a little bบmore to the side, and I could fold down one of the seats and I could quite comfortably sleep in the back of here. And if I wanted to travel around Australia, I didn't want to, have a rooftop tent or a trailer or anything like that, caravan, whatever, I could sleep in the back of this quite comfortably. It is a big vehicle, and the interior space as well would keep you warm and it will keep you dry. So although my whole point is I'm not going to be sleeping in it, the point is that there is quite a bit more flexibility in the storage and the storage space of the Prado. And you can kind of see, and of the wagons, and you kind of see that I've got things in here like the K-On top roof kind of storage area there. It's called a shelf. And you've got the back tailgate here as well for storage too. So again, all these little things, guys, all these little things that you get with a wagon that you just don't get with a Ute. So if we're talking about storage and we're talking about how you can construct your space to suit you, wagons are the obvious choice in my opinion. Now the third thing we're going to talk about is fitting out the space. So if you went and purchased a Hilux, it's very difficult to do DIY setups on things like utes. If we're talking about utes versus wagons, wagons are much easier to do DIY setups on. It's basically just a blank space, and you don't need to worry about water and dust ingress, things like that. You don't need to worry about any of that. And with a ute, you either have one of two options, well, three options, I guess. Well, you've got a lot of options, really. You've got the different racks that you can put on top of them. You've got a lockable cover that you can put on them as well. You've got a fiberglass canopy, and you've also got a custom canopy as well that you can do. So the options for the Hilux is broad, and for the utes are broad. But we're talking about money. You know, everything is money. So for me, what I like about this Prado, which is why I ended up purchasing it, was I went out, bought the Prado, and I knew I'd be able to fit it out myself. We're talking about drawer system, made that myself. Drawer slides, fridge slides, went out, bought them, slapped them on top, made myself a nice little pantry there, bought myself a shelf. I didn't make that myself. I bought it and installed it myself. Rear door drop-down table. There's a whole pile of things that I've done in here, and I've done them myself. I haven't had to pay anyone to do them for me. And you know, that's something that is for me, knowing how everything works and how everything is installed is very important, because I know I'll be able to fix this if something happens and I'm on the road and something breaks down, as opposed to giving it to an outfitter and saying, here, install this canopy, here's 20 grand, install it, something goes wrong with it, you're on the road, you're camping or whatever it is, and you don't know how to fix it because you didn't install it yourself. So for me, if we're talking about DIY potential, DIY potential is a great way to say it. DIY potential on these wagons is brilliant, and you know, I've talked about this in length with a lot of people in the comment section, and I think, you know, we all agree that the DIY potential of these vehicles is brilliant. So fourth thing is not that big of a deal, but it is something to consider, is visibility. So I have 360-degree vision here. I've got my usual passenger door windows for the front and the second row of seating, but I've also got windows for the third row of people. Not that there's going to be any, because I've taken those seats out, which I can install later if I want. But those windows allow me a lot of visibility, and I also have vision out of my back window as well. And if you have a canopy, then obviously you need to have either a pass-through window or something like that where you can see what's going on, or you're going to have a little screen and with a camera giving you some sort of camera feed. But you know, for me, I've got the same. I've got the camera feed for the back, but I've also got 360-degree vision. So for me, visibility is something that I really appreciate, especially on the tougher tracks or getting into a campsite where it's very, very narrow. I know that I'm not going to be hitting anything because I have such good visibility in this vehicle. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is something that might rub some people the wrong way. And it's the fifth and final reason, and it's to do with, I guess, aesthetics, because yes, we've spoken about this before on the channel that I very much like the look of this vehicle in terms of how it looks, how it photographs, how it presents. It's very nice. But also, how does it blend in? This vehicle blends in so well. If I take this somewhere, doesn't get a look. No one even looks at it. It's a white wagon. No one even pays any attention to it. Even when I've got all the stuff loaded up onto it, no one's even taking a second look at this thing. It just blends in so well. The same also applies when I'm just daily driving this. So if I take this to whatever, if I take this to a meeting, if I take it to my work, if I take it you know, on a trip or a work trip or something like that, it blends in so well. And if I had a more rugged sort of you know, big canopy setup and it's all looking very serious, and you're making yourself a target for theft, because people will know that, oh, he's got a canopy, there's got to be stuff in there that's probably worth a bit of cash. So you kind of make yourself a little bit of a target, but also too, you know, it blends in a variety of situations, a variety of scenarios that you can take this out on a nice night out. You know, you can take your family out to dinner in this, and you know, that might not matter to some people, but for me, it's just, you know, it's a nice looking car. It doesn't look too serious. It's not off-putting. It's not like, oh, that's just my off-road car. I like to think that the vehicles that I have serve many purposes. So for this vehicle, I mean, it does my daily driving for me when I can't be bothered using the clutch on my other vehicle. It also does my camping and my YouTube stuff as well, and the off-road side of things, but it also is a new car and it presents well. So, it looks respectable, and it is something that blends in a variety of situations, and it looks like just a very nice car. And that's because it is. It's a beautiful car, and I'm very lucky and I'm very fortunate to have a vehicle like this. For me, I look at this vehicle as a very comfortable vehicle. It's, it does the job, it looks nice, and it blends in a variety of situations. So for me, the wagon versus ute discussion, the wagons do blend in, and they're more of a family car, and that's something that they cop a bit of flack for as well. Obviously, I'm going to have someone for sure say, oh yeah, it blends in for when you are, at mall crawling. So yeah, so anyway, I'll look forward to that comment. We'll see who the first one is who gets that one. But guys, that's it. That's the end of this video. That's another 5 reasons why I like wagons compared to the utes. I sold my 2008 Nissan Navara, like I said in my previous video, a little bit over a year now, and I've got a wagon, and I actually meant to make this video and these series of videos. I was going to make them when I first purchased this vehicle, but I just never got around to it. I ended up just doing too much stuff to it, and getting excited about all the other things, going camping and stuff in it, that I never really got around to explaining why I jumped ship from the utes to the wagon platform. And I hope, I might make another one of these videos. I'll have a little bit more of a think and see if there's any 5 more reasons that, that are, I guess, valid reasons anyway, that, why someone should get a wagon over a ute. But as it stands right now, I've given you guys a little bit to think about, and I want you to, just consider it. I mean, if you are someone that had a ute and has gone to a wagon, let me know in the comments. I'll be interested to see if there's anything I'm missing, because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and vice versa. If you're someone who you're watching this and you have a ute now, you went from a wagon to a ute, I'm open to having these discussions, guys, because that's how we will learn. I haven't ruled out getting another ute yet. I very well may do that, but for now, I'm quite happy with the wagon. I wouldn't mind experiencing more of that ute canopy lifestyle, but again, we are talking about cost, because if I sold this vehicle and I ended up buying, say, I'll keep bringing it up because it's a very comparable vehicle. If, say, I bought something like a Hilux or something like that, and I put a canopy on the back, the setup on it's going to cost me a lot of money, guys. And that was a very big reason why I purchased the wagon, is because I knew that I could just fit it out myself. So I'm going to leave that there for now, guys. Please, let's continue this in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I reply to all the comments anyway, so we'll have a good discussion there. I'll see you down in the comment section, and I'll see you very shortly for our next video. Thank you so much for watching.